Revolutionary greetings, comrades. It's 24th December 2023. In our political education, we are looking into the role of a member of parliament. I'm guided by the notes drawn up by Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights as part of the educating society on what they should expect from their members of parliament. Their notes start by describing section 130 of the constitution, and it provides, as I quote, in the exercise of their legislative authority, both the Senate and the National Assembly have power to initiate, prepare, consider, or reject any legislation. That's what section 130 of the Zimbabwe Constitution says. Their notes continue says, this means that Parliament should not just rubber stamp bills, drafted legislation, but should interrogate or question them to ensure that they are not only constitutional, but also address matters of national interest. Put differently, Parliament is obliged to debate thoroughly and scrutinize bills to ensure that there is value added before passing them into law. I continue. The Constitution emphasizes the fact that all institutions and agencies of the state and government are accountable to Parliament. For instance, Section 107 of the Zimbabwean Constitution states that every vice president, minister, and deputy minister must attend parliamentary committees in order to answer questions concerning matters for which he or she is collectively and individually responsible. Then they define in simple terms here the role of a member of parliament, which one, lawmaking function, two, the consent to taxation and the control of public expenditure, and three, debate on government policy and the scrutiny of government administration. These are basically the core duties of a member of parliament. But in Zimbabwe, we have a serious problem. Our members of parliament are not elected on the basis that they qualify to play this critical role in parliament. They are elected on the basis of them buying votes. How do one buy votes? Buying people African beer, buying groceries during campaigns, organizing sports tournaments, paying school fees, building a bridge, or contributing to painting of a school in a local community. That's how, in the main, one is being judged on whether they qualify to be in parliament. They are not judged in terms of the core duties which I've outlined here. We have many parliamentarians that are now in their second term or third term. When you go through the Hansard, they have never uttered a word in parliament, but they always go back. So they are not judged in terms of their core duties, in terms of the constitution, on what the function of a member of parliament is. We have reduced our parliamentarians to be developmental officers, as opposed in carrying out their legislative function. Quite a number of my friends or my comrades who are parliamentarians in this festive season, they are busy organizing groceries for the elderly. Nothing wrong with that. They are busy organizing sports tournaments. So a member of parliament will put in their calendar that 2024 has so many holidays. In each holiday I need to organize a sports tournament or an activity in my constituency. It means, therefore, in between the holidays, the MP must then raise funds so that there's an activity. They are then judged on the activities they did in their constituents, be it soccer tournaments, not netball, athletics. They are judged on that for them to then be re-elected in 2028. They are not judged in terms of their contribution in making laws in parliament or in holding government to account. They are not judged whether do they have capacity in committees. Because a member of parliament is supposed to hold back, to hold what we call feedback meetings, to call a meeting in a constituency. And they say these are the bills before parliament who are expected to make an input. I, as your representative, what is it that I must say? Let's take for instance the this bill which was once problematic in parliament, consent to sex, right? A parliamentarian should consult their constituents to say at what age can a person consent to sex. Should that be 12, 14, 16, 18? These are the duties of a parliamentarian, so that when they go to parliament, they will say, in my constituency we have discussed this question, and this is what my constituency says on this matter. But a parliamentarian will simply wear a suit to go to parliament, not say a word, not debate, go back to the constituency, organize sports tournaments, and some other developmental programs in the community. And this is how they are judged by community. That is not the role of parliament. We are going to January. Part of the problems that our MPs are faced with, we are going to January, schools will be opening. People in their constituents will be saying, no, my child or my nephew, my niece doesn't have school fees. Buy me textbooks or exercise books for my child. And if the MP does not do so, they are said they are not a good MP because they are not paying school fees for the less privileged in our society. That is not the role of an MP. In any case, I was looking, last week I spent time consulting in terms of what are the benefits of a parliamentarian. In any case, Zimbabweans members of parliament and senators, they earn something like plus minus 56,000 rands per annum, right? It comes to plus minus 4,000 rands per month. So this man on his own is not adequate for this member of parliament to take care of his or her family. The 56,000 rands they earn annually, it is not enough to take care of their own families, to send their kids to school, if their only job or if their income only comes from parliament. But then we'll expect them to pay for our own kids' school fees when they can't pay for their own kids' school fees. Unless, of course, there's another job outside parliament. But for those that have no any other job outside parliament, they can't take care of their own families based on what they are being paid in parliament. If you contract that with the South African Parliament, an MP earns something like 1.1 million rands per annum. And in the most cases, because it is not constituency based, South Africans, as they go to 2024, of course, it will be first time that there will be constituencies. But in the last, since 1994, you elect a political party, it is a political party then that deploys people to parliament. And you are not held accountable to say, no, I don't have electricity, pay for my electricity, pay for my water, asking the person, the MP, to pay from their own pocket. So we thought it's important that as part of our political education, we must educate society. It's our task as communists that we do not elect MPs to provide for us. We elect MPs to develop laws that we want as the voters. Because a member of parliament is our servant. It is us that send them to parliament to be our representatives in terms of what bills or laws we want to see coming from parliament. We should not elect them on the basis that because it's festive season now, they are buying us groceries. Someone, an MP, will go and slaughter his cow, and then he gives us some pieces of meat as part of Christmas. That's not the role of a member of parliament. So this is what we must do. So as a result, we've elected people that have no understanding of their legislative role in parliament, but who are corrupt, who have money to spread around in communities. And that is not their role. Please share your views. I know that most of you want to go to parliament in 2028. I was saying to a comrade that we need to educate ourselves, our membership, our society, so that when we then decide to say, Comrade so and so should be our representative, we know what the comrade is capable of. They have capacity to engage. Which we are lacking in the parties that are represented in parliament, because a parliamentarian must have around themselves a research committee. For instance, my member of parliament in Umzingwane constituency must have a research committee. When he goes to parliament, a committee will have done its research in terms of the bills that are coming up. If there's a motion moved in parliament, my member of parliament should pass that to the committee, which will then do the research. If a budget speech is presented in parliament, the committee in the constituency must scrutinize the budget speech so that the MP will then go and engage representing us. Please share your views in the comment section. I am Ngabuto Mabena. I know we are busy celebrating, my Christian comrades are busy celebrating Christmas. Like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, please do follow us. Otherwise, enjoy.